అదేమి ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, ఆయన ఫైనల్ డేటా సెట్. ఓకే, సో ఒరిజినల్ ఎస్డిటిఎం డేటా సెట్స్ కాపీ చేసినట్లేనా? ఇక్కడ ఇందులో ఉన్నాయా? ఒక నిమిషం. ఇందులో ఉన్నాయా? So meanwhile, any questions from anybody?
So folder దగ్గర folder HTML ఇస్తున్నాయి.
మీరేంటి లైబ్రరీ నేమ్?
HTML.
So whenever we want to compare, okay, basically production and validation, obviously we used to write a proc compare code. So can anyone tell proc compare syntax? Okay. Is equal to SDTM, huh? Equal to I think sorting base is వచ్చింది కదా. Okay, so this is the pro compare report. Okay, whenever you write it to datasets with the pro compare report, okay, so it will give the comprehensive list of differences based on your attributes, based on your variables, based on your validable data and the variable labels and everything. It will give the number of records difference and the number of variable and the number of observations, everything it will give. So as a validator and the production, you both needs to make sure that, okay, the both data sets should be passed QC. Okay, so the validator will validate and then going to give the comments. You need to update. Okay, so there should not be mismatches anything. Okay, for example, if you see here, we have the mismatches. Okay, I'm not sure why this many record mismatches. Sort అయిన డేటా అది పెద్ద ప్రాబ్లం కాదు కదా. సో నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రికార్డ్స్ అయితే మారవు కదా సార్టింగ్ లో. ఓకే, अच्छा अच्छा वर्क क्लिक చేసినామా, సారీ. But it won't give any difference, I guess. Okay, so if you there the compare procedure, okay, comparison of SDTM AE with SDTM AE. Okay, so here, okay, this is the first one, I guess. ऑटोमेटिक हो रहा है क्या डाइवर्शन लो. अच्छा, साइड सेशन क्लोज చేయాలేమో. ఓకే, ఏం సెకండ్ అండ్ పైన अच्छा अच्छा ओके करना ఇదేనా. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so it will give the brief information, so which two data sets you have compare, what is when it is created and modified, and the number of observations, okay, number of variables and the label. Okay, so if you see this is the compare data set, will have the 805 records. When it comes to the what Kiran has developed, it's 98 records. Okay, so we need to check that why the records are differ. Okay, first of all. Okay, again this is a label, you need to give the data set label as a final data set. Okay, you know right how to give the data set label? Yeah. So now the number of differences, okay, which we will check. First of all, why, how many raw data sets were used for this program? SV? For epoch, okay. So the main data set which you used for what? That was 70, right? So it means your number of records should comes from the adverse event data set. Okay, if there are any duplicates which we remove, then it might decrease. Okay, if we have the multiple, this is the adverse event will used to have one record. If it's a finding domain, we'll have the multiple raw data sets. So it's based on your vertical horizontal structure related, it might give the number of records. First you can straight away check with the number of records, so which one is correct. Okay, so we'll go for there. The raw data sets is here, right? This is the one. Okay, so how many data sets we have? 805, right? 832 here in the raw data set. Okay, there are some invalid data sets, or for I'm not sure, but you are getting 98. So what happened? Where you have missed, you need to check the particular thing. Okay. So the subject will be same, right? A base. We'll go one by one. Okay, this is the raw data set. Okay, what is the data set name? Here, intermediate data set. E-base ka. So, current the E-base. So here we have the how many records? 805. Okay. So it means whenever you set the data, you got the 805. But later what you have done some pre-processing and then it reduced. So you need to check that where it got reduced. Okay. Okay. So we'll check after that PDM. Okay, this is fine. Okay, AE epoch. How many we have? 198. So this is the AE epoch. It's a magic data set or how it will? No, right? Okay. Okay, ASE 297 and then DM1. Which one? Start and end it is that? Which data set? Matched one. Which one start? No, 1 second. Based on the subject. DM1. Here also we have 805. Then the weight where it got DM1. Proxo to return and enable dot user the penny sequence healthy sequence 1. DM2. We have 98. So here you did some mistake, okay? And what's wrong here? DM1. It's good. First dot use of penny sequence. Why? It's not.
సార్ ఎల్సీసీ చేస్తే మనకు రికార్డ్స్ తక్కువ వస్తుంది
ఎల్సీ వాడదు కదా, ఎల్సీ అవసరం లేదు.
ఇంతకుముందు ఎల్సీ ఫండ్లో రికార్డ్స్
అది దట్స్ ఫైన్, అందుకే తీసేసిన, రిటర్న్ చేసి చేశారు, అవసరం లేదు. రిటర్న్ అవసరం లేదు కదా దీనికి. అదంటే ఈ సీక్వెన్సిబుల్ ఏసీ కరెక్ట్ కదా. డేటా ప్రాబ్లం, డేటా సెట్ అయిపోయింది, సీక్వెన్స్ రాంగ్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. సీక్వెన్స్ కోడ్ ఇదే మనకి, ఇందులో ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు.
సార్ ఇక్కడ పై ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడం ఏ టర్మ్ పెట్టాలి కదా సార్, లేకపోతే పెట్టుకుని కూడా వస్తుంది సార్.
స్టార్టింగ్ లో పెట్టాలి, ఫస్ట్ డాట్ సెకండ్ డాట్ మీకు క్రియేట్ అవ్వాలి అని అంటే పెట్టాలి. దట్స్ ఫైన్, మనకి సబ్జెక్ట్ ఏదో ఒకటి ఉన్నా కూడా ఓకే, అది ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు. దిస్ ఆర్ రైట్ కోడ్ యాక్చువల్లీ.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఐఎమ్ వరీడ్ అబౌట్ దిస్ యాజ్ వర్షన్. Why you are getting only missing values generated with the result from events in which cases? The missing values generated ఎందుకని, రీజన్ ఏంటి? సో ఫస్ట్ డాట్ లాస్ట్ డాట్ క్రియేట్ అవుతున్నాయి కదా. Not sure why you have wasted it. ఇందాక రిటర్న్ వాడితే వచ్చిందా కరెక్ట్?
సార్ వన్స్ యూస్ రిటర్న్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్
అప్పుడు కూడా వచ్చింది, అప్పుడు అట్లా వచ్చిందా? తప్పు కదా మరి. చెప్తా. స్టూడెంట్స్ లాస్ట్ ఫోర్ వరకు అప్పుడు ఏంటి మీకు ఏమైనా ప్రొజెక్ట్స్ తప్పు వచ్చినాయి ఇంతమంది సెషన్ ఏమైనా ఏమైనా ప్రొజెక్ట్స్ రాసినప్పుడు ఏమైనా డేటా సెట్ రాసినప్పుడు వర్కింగ్ ప్రాపర్ అయిందా ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చినాయి? ఒక్కసారి సాస్ వర్షన్ మళ్ళీ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయమని చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఒకసారి రీటైన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏం చేయండి.
రీటైన్ వాడినా కూడా నీకేం యూజ్ ఉండదు. అప్పుడు అన్నీ 1-1 వస్తాయి నీకు. వచ్చిందా స్ట్రింగ్స్ రీటైన్ లేకుంటే ఎందుకు రావట్లేదు కోడ్ మరి? దిస్ ఇస్ వితౌట్ రీటైన్ దిస్ ద కరెక్ట్ కోడ్. యాక్చువల్ సీక్వెన్స్ కి దిస్ కరెక్ట్ కోడ్.
వితౌట్ రీటైన్ సార్ యాక్చువల్గా నాకు రాలేదు. మళ్ళీ రీటైన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యూజ్ చేశాకనే నాకు సీక్వెన్స్ నెంబర్ జనరేట్ అయింది సార్.
బట్ ఓకే, బట్ యాక్చువల్ ఏంటంటే ఐడియల్ గా అయితే ఈ రీటైన్ లేకుండా కూడా ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనేది కరెక్ట్ రావాలి నీకు. ఫస్ట్ డాట్ అయితే ఈ సీక్వెన్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అండ్ సీక్వెన్స్ +1. సో బేసిక్ అయితే రావాలి. నాట్ షూర్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్. We'll see. Okay. But what's wrong with SAS anyway? Anyway, no problem. Okay. So it's working with retain and the sequence plus anyway. I mean the previous code also it's not a wrong any no issue. But this version I'm not sure what happened with this. Okay. Okay, we will compare again. So basically what mismatch you observed first, okay, the number of records are not matching, okay. So if the number of records are not matching, first of all what you need to check that, okay. So first you need to find the how many records should come first. Then only you can find the which one is correct and which one is wrong. So the first of all, obviously, if this is the AE, the main data set is the raw data set AE. If it's a finding that we will have the multiple raw data sets. So that information all together stock and then it will give. For example, when it comes to some finding domains, you'll have the records with the box. For example, let's assume you'll have the 10 records, but the information will have the horizontal. So whenever it's transposed, the based on your parameters means the number of variables, it will give the number of records. For example, we have the 5 parameters and then 20 variables. 25 are how much? 100. So you'll get the 100 records, number of records. So in that way you can calculate the number of records first of all. So how many records is going to get, based on that which one is correct. So still, I mean we have this is the 800, 900, 100, 200, this is fine still. When it comes to the some of the larger record, we'll have the 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs records. So in that case, it's not a that much easy job to compare the comparison report. So in that way, what you can do, if it's the data is long, okay. So for the checking purpose, you need to restrict the data. First of all, for example, if you take in the QS domain, so sometimes QS will have the more than 1 CR records also. 1 CR. It is the very extreme cases. I'm not saying that every time you get that. So sometimes lakhs also will be there. So in that case, you cannot count and find that much easy job to find the number of records. So what you can do in that way, if we have the number of forms, so the each and every form we can distinguish between by category, subcategory, right? So in that way, what you can do, for example, we have the one category, quality life questions, SF36 questions we have. So how many subjects in the raw data sets and then how many questions we have. So obviously if you multiply, you'll get the number of records for the particular one record, one form. Okay, one data set. So go in and your final QS data set, restrict the data with the category. So, okay. So based on the category, you can filter and then output and then first compare that category. So for example, one of the particular questionnaire you're supposed to get 120 records. The same production and QC are getting the same records for the particular category. Then this category looks fine. So go for the another category. So in this category itself, you are not matching with the number of records. Okay. So you can check for the which one is correct and which one is not. So basically, you will go for the category wise, one by one. Okay. First, you can sort out this particular category record. So you'll match, then go for the next category. So once the records match, then you can check for the mismatches on the value level. Okay. So the first of all, first and most important thing is that you need to compare the number of records. I think we have it run or not. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe mention it. Okay, now records matched. Okay, so the validation and production dataset records matched. One is the mismatch here is that the production doesn't have the label. Okay, so you can update here in the final output where it's here the label is equal to adverse event. Okay, that will match the one of the mismatch. Okay, so the next variable summary here it will give the number of variables common. Okay, the both data sets how many variables are common, 36. Okay, but number of variables with the different attributes 3 and the number of variables ID is 2. So you have the different attributes means label or length or format will be differ for the production to QC. Okay, for example, those are the list you can find here. If you see the AE STDTC, you will have the length in the production 200 and the compare 90. Okay, so the length you can update here. Okay, so the one thing. Okay, we have some duplicate records, so that's why based on the ID, so it is giving some information. Okay, so that we can check. Okay, so if you hear the number of records matched, okay, the common variable matched, okay, observation matched, the unequal is 805 and the equal is 0. So it means all your records is not matching. Either one of the variable is differing with the production and QC. So we are going to check the each and then one by one variable. So these are the list of the variable is going to get, obviously why? Because we don't have these coding variables in the what you have derived. Okay, so that we can remove and okay, so this is the one thing, AESPID is not populating from the base, so whereas the QC is having the AESPID. Okay, we'll check that the particular program how they are populating form ID, right? So I think in the spec you only write like, okay, so this is the form name. You can, once you update this thing, the mismatches will go off. Okay, so basically variable wise you need to check. Okay, for example, if you hear the user subject ID has given, okay, so for this is the record you are getting the ASPID missing. So why is getting? So it's missing for the entire record, then you go and check their program. For example, aggravator ASPID. So you can know in the missing association. So as per spec into the raw variable it's not raw. This is the form, right? If you go and check, previously you have the AE missing. So now that was resolved. Okay. So now we are getting the AELLT. So this is the coding variable. We don't have the external file. I asked Narendra, but still it's not placed. Okay. So if you have in future, we'll publish these variables. Okay. At this moment, forget about this the coding variable, or else while you are comparing, you can drop those variables from the final comparison for the checking purpose. Okay. So you can take it from the production and QC. You can just write a one drop option, and then list of the variable you can keep it. That variable will not compare. Okay. That's the one thing. So
we can also use the output AE because they already have the LLT and all the things.
That's what I'm using, output AE right here. This is the variable.
But not this one, sir, in the project.
This is the project one only. This is the data.
Is one from the results they obtained, like the thing we use DM for the RFST DTC also, like that we can use AE for the LLT, LLT CD and all.
I didn't get what you are saying actually.
For calculating epoch, we took the DM RFST DTC also. In the same way, the output AE has this LLT, LLT CD already coded. Maybe we can use that.
No, the basic thing is that actually what we have placed in the already SDTM data sets from the study, that we have the content. But how we need to populate these variables is whether we have the external file, so that we need to import and then map to the particular records. But we don't have that external file in the study, that's why we not did. So what I'm saying here is that you either way you can drop those variables and compare, okay, or else if you want to compare those variables also, but it's not a right way, you can set that SDTM AE dataset and then match based on the subject item, date and sequence. Then you can keep those variables in the QC as well. Okay, but it's not a right way. Okay, for the checking purpose, if you want, you can practice. Okay, got it? So is that you are asking?
Apart from compare, I was talking about using those data sets to create these LLT, LLTCD in our normal programming.
How you will create those normal program? How you will create?
So likewise, we have used DMO, sir, in the output of the company or the project they give.
No, you're not understanding. So these are the variables we'll get from the external file. We don't have that external file in the study.
Yes, sir.
So then how you can map
we
this
don't have
variable?
the external file, but we already have the output, no, sir.
Which output?
Their output.
That's
they
what
already
how?
did the programming and they give the output. I'm just suggesting that instead of the project, we can still use that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can take that variable and merge by these two, but that is it's not the ideal way.
I understood.
So it's not. That's what I'm explaining. It's not the ideal way. But if you want to check that, you can take that SDTM already projected SDTM dataset and merge with that. But anyway, you are going to compare with that dataset only. That what is the point to take it and compare? So it will give the same results. Okay.
I understood.
Yeah, but if you want to compare, okay, that is also you can check for the practice purpose. That's not an issue. Okay. So this dataset and this dataset you can measure it based on the unique keys. Okay. What is the unique keys? You can find it based on the subject, A term, A STDTC, A sequencing. So, but based on that you can merge it. While merging, make sure that you should not increase the records if you don't give the proper keys. Okay. So these are decode values and everything coding values. APTCD. Okay. These are the mismatches. And what is this? AHLT, high level term, low level term. AHLGT, hypothesis. Okay, that's it. The variable list available is fine. Max difference 0. Okay. Why it's not showing at the end? Open the ESTD to see what is the difference. And then we will check here. Paste. We have the ESTDTC, AEMDTC. Anything? अच्छा, okay. So, ఎంత ఇది ప్రాపర్ హ్యాండిల్ అవ్వలేదు నీ డేటా సెట్ లో. ఇది కంపేర్ అది బేసా కంపేర్ అని ఒక బేస్ సో అంటే ఐఎస్ఓ H601 ఫార్మాట్ ప్రాపర్ గా కన్వర్ట్ అవ్వలేదు దాంట్లో. సో బేసిక్ అంటే ఐ వాస్ చెకింగ్ ఫర్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. ఓకే, వీ హ్యావ్ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మిస్ మ్యాచ్ వేరియబుల్స్ హియర్, లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద వేరియబుల్స్ హియర్, రైట్? ఓకే, సో వాట్ ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు చెక్ హియర్ ఇస్ దట్ I think okay. After deleting also it will show the list all the things. Okay, then I was deleted everything, right? Okay. So I was searching for this actually. So we have the variables with unequal values. Okay, this is expected, and why? Because we don't have these things. Okay, so but I'm checking for the ASTDTC and then epoch. The not matching. For the list of the variables, he has no. I mean, he had not given for that. Okay. List of okay. Okay, so this option you know, right? If you given for the out if option and then out data set, it will give the number of differences in the data set level. Everyone know, right, that option? Okay. So if you open this a different data set, you can find the one by one. For example, what is the base value, what is the compare value, and what is the difference value. So if you go and check, whenever it is the difference, you'll get these kind of into marks, I mean X marks, okay? So if you see this is the base, you are getting missing and while compare is having, okay? So forget about these variables, okay? While comparing, you can drop it or else you can merge from the main data set and get it populated, okay? So apart from this, where it is mismatching, we need to check. If it's a dates is mismatching, you will get the different number, okay? For example, what is the difference between those two dates? That number will get here, okay? So, but yeah, if you see here, okay? For these records, 16, 17, 18, okay? So, as per ISO 8601 format, how it should be populated, 2020-03, right? But you have populated 2020-03 UN. So, whenever you remove this UN and then properly populated, then this record will match, okay? So, this is the one thing. So, the same here, the treatment and the follow-up, okay? So, the epoch also is mismatching. Why epoch is mismatching? First, you need to check that the particular one record, okay? Once the dates are matched, for the date is matching and epoch is mismatching, we will check here, okay? So, no, but here epoch is the text problem, okay? They have given colon hyphen under you have given underscore, they have given hyphen, okay? That is the difference, okay? Text difference. So if you correct that is, this epoch also will match, okay? But wherever here it is that they are getting follow-up, you are getting treatment. So that you need to check why they are getting follow-up and they are getting epoch, okay? I mean treatment, okay? So I think you might take the treatment epoch date greater than or equal to, but based on this, they will the same date they might have populated in the follow. You can check it that thing, okay? So basically, you can find the subject number, okay? So for example, whenever you have the mismatches, go and find first the subject number. Okay, for example, you'll have the mismatch on the subject, and then go and find filter those records in the data set, okay? Check manually. So whether dates is matching and the epoch is not matching. Manually you can check. You know the ASTDTC. You have the SESTDTC, SE and DTC. Go and filter the dates into the SE. So now you have the manual dates. Okay. Now check that the AESTDTC falls under which which gap. Okay. For example, whether it is falling under screening to treatment, a treatment period, or it's a follow-up period. You know you have the start and end days, right? So based on you can check. So whether your logic is right, then you can inform to the production or QC programmer. Vice versa, if your logic is wrong, then you need to update the program. So at the end, you will get the clean report. So until your attribute should be matched, your number of records should be matched, each and every rule should be matched. Okay, your unequal values should become 0. Okay, you have that unequal value, right? The unequal value should come 0. Then your validation is correct. Okay, so got it. Is there any questions on the proc compare? Any questions on ఎవరికైనా? Is there any questions? అర్థమైన మిస్ మ్యాచెస్ ఎట్లా చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఎట్లా ఏంటి?
సార్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ నేను ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేసినాక మాకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ వస్తే అడుగుతాం సార్.
ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ వస్తే అడగండి, ఫైన్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయో చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు ఏం లేదు సార్.
ఓకే. So basically, if everyone know, that's fine. If doesn't know these options, so please go and explore these options. Okay, what will give the list all? What is outbase? What is outcompound? Okay, we have other. If we compare with the ID and then without ID, what happened? Those things you need to explore as it. Okay, so there's a one and the important thing when you're comparing things. Okay, I'm saving this data set. If you want to take a reference from here, you can. Okay, so if there are any questions, I can take it up. Otherwise, we can close the call.
ఒకవేళ మీకు కంపేర్ చేయాలంటే ఏ వర్క్ తోటి కంపేర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
So if you want to compare at this moment, go and take this okay, for example, in the new folder, okay,
Yes.
here we have the SDT MS. Okay, this is the folder. You can create a library your own and then you can compare with here. Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, so I think actually I supposed to assign the Kiran and Hemant or vice versa, something like that, but still the 2 or 3 only members was outputted the I think one of the Kiran. Okay, yeah, I know, but today you can complete. I might assign it tomorrow or today evening so that you can compare the things. Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, so is there any other questions from anybody? Okay, so I can take it up as no. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. Bye bye.